Post. Detail, at ease. Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to another edition of our virtual color ceremony. Today, this is in honor of Veterans Day that's coming up next week, and is a sign of a little bit closer return to normal. We actually have a few of our teammates that have joined us today, properly physically distanced, no big formation or anything yet, but we're getting a little closer to normal, so that's a good thing. So I want to thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of the wider Team Orlando community here. We'll have some more announcements after, towards the end here, but at this point I want to stop and introduce Commander Adama Hudson, our new Assistant Executive Officer for NSA Orlando, who's going to do today's Medal of Honor reading.
The Medal of Honor winner or recipient I chose today was Commander Richard H. O'Kane. He was commanding officer of one of the most decorated submarines in World War II, the USS Tang. And being a submariner by profession, I just felt it was right to read about our history and one of our decorated warriors. Attention to award. The President of the United States presents the Medal of Honor to Commander Richard H. O'Kane, United States Navy, for service set forth in the following citation. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity, at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty as commanding officer of the USS Tang, operating against two enemy Japanese convoys on October 23rd and 24th, 1944, during her fifth and last war patrol. Boldly maneuvering on the surface into the midst of a heavily escorted convoy, Commander O'Kane maneuvered, stood in a fusillade of bullets and shells from all directions to launch smashing hits on three tankers, coolly swung his ship to fire against a freighter, and in a split-second decision, shot out the path of an onrushing transport, missing it by inches. Boxed in by blazing tankers and a freighter, transport, and several destroyers, he blasted two of the targets with the remaining two torpedoes, and with pyrotechnics bursting on all sides cleared the area. 24 hours later, he again made contact with the heavily escorted convoy steaming to support the Leyte campaign with reinforcements and supplies, and with crated planes piled high on each unit. In defiance of the enemy's relentless fire, he closed the concentration of ships and in quick succession sent two torpedoes each into the first and second transports and an adjacent tanker, finding his mark with each torpedo in a series of violent explosions at less than 1,000 yards. With ships bearing down from all sides, he charged the enemy at high speed, exploding the tanker in a burst of flames, smashing the transport dead in the water, and blasting the destroyer with a mighty roar which rocketed the Tang from stern to stern. Expending his last two torpedoes in the remnants of a once powerful convoy before his own ship went down, Commander O'Kane, aided by his gallant command, achieved the illustrious record of heroism in combat, enhancing the finest traditions of United States naval service. At ease.
Hey Adam, thanks for sharing that with us today. That was certainly a great story of bravery and combat action. One of the things we talk about a lot today is our ability and necessity to fight as a joint force and to be interoperable. But one of the U.S. Navy's biggest strengths is the ability of individual units to fight and do great harm to the enemy on their own, and that was certainly a great example of that. So, just as a reminder, that sort of sacrifice is resemblant of all the sacrifice made by all of those folks that have served in the uniform for the United States. And so as Veterans Day comes upon us, it's a day to thank every one of them for their service in serving in the cloth of our nation. So I invite you to do that. And certainly thank you for joining us today for this version of Virtual Colors here at Team Orlando. Hello again, Team Orlando. So we're trying to make a conscious effort to show different parts of the base as we make these videos and such. And so I thought today, as we did announcements from colors, we'd shift over to the A4 static display and show a little UCF spirit since football season's ongoing. So go Knights, charge on. First, I want to, again, urge you to thank a veteran on Veterans Day. As we move past that, the other thing that's happening out there is we have the potential for tropical weather coming in over the weekend or maybe a little bit into next week, as Veterans Day comes upon us. There's a lot of uncertainty in what can happen with that particular system, formerly known as ADA now, but please stay abreast of communications with the media and the weather to see and make sure you're prepared for whatever may come our way. And speaking of being prepared, I want to talk a little bit about the situation with COVID and how we're doing there. At the current time, we're still in a little bit of a persistent bump in the data here in Central Florida. I spoke with the Orange County public health officials just the other day, and they think that it's pretty much what the normal levels should be here in Central Florida. Here on base and within Team Orlando, we are not seeing that same level of bump. And just in terms of an overall way to think about what is happening inside of Team Orlando and our team, a good chunk of the cases that we're seeing have to do with travel outside the local area, whether that's official travel or travel that individuals are making for personal reasons and such. So I just implore you to keep up with your COVID mitigations and make sure that you're looking out for yourself and keeping the team safe. Certainly the biggest key to this is to keep the COVID fight at home, as it has been for the past 10 months. So if you don't feel good, if there's any doubt in how you feel, stay home, talk to your supervisor, and keep the COVID fight there at home. Here on base, we continue to be ready for COVID. We continue to operate a safe facility, and we continue to be ready for you to come back when you need to come back to do your work. Our facilities are open for business, and they're ready for you. So once again, I'll thank you for joining us today and seeing this, whether you were one of the teammates that was here in person or one of the folks that are watching this via social media or other means. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for being part of Team Orlando, and thanks for what you do to make our warfighters more prepared for the fight they may have tonight and the fight they may have tomorrow. Thanks.